World abundance through business re-education. Since 1993, ActionCOACH business coaches have lived that vision by helping business owners across the planet build great companies, create more jobs, and truly grow their communities. Real people getting real results. We've always believed that being in business should give you more life, and right now we believe in something even greater. The abundance of those amazing business owners, the abundance of the employees in those companies, the abundance of providing free education to every business owner and every local or national business group globally, the abundance of being there for you and every business that needs us right now.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Satyam Garg, and on behalf of ActionCOACH and Franchise India, I welcome you all to a session, Why ActionCOACH Franchise Now is the Best Time. I'm sure you'll find the session rich in insights and energy. Considering that you all have joined us today, I'm sure starting a business or investing in a new business is a thought that is already on your mind. However, should I build the business from scratch or should I look at franchisee option is something that we are puzzled about. Just to give you some figures, more than 80% of the non-franchisee businesses fail in the first 5 years, whereas 75% of the franchisee business succeed. So a franchisee clearly makes sense. The other question that comes to our mind is, what business should I invest in? Considering the current times, it should be recession-proof is something that is the top priority. Apart from that, it should be fulfilling, rewarding, and most important, it should be adapting to the virtual world. Business coaching fulfills all these criteria. Demand for business coaching has reached fever pitch. There is a massive demand for business coaches to help companies secure meaningful growth and achieve their goals. Some of the effective business people in recent industry have used coaching to reach top of the game. So if you are an individual seeking to explore business coaching for your startup, or you are a business owner who would like to accelerate the growth of their business through diversification, ActionCOACH as an opportunity suits you all. Therefore, without taking much of your time, I would now like to invite a speaker for the day, a born entrepreneur and someone who has stood in solidarity with the SME business owners for the past 22 years, the chairman of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Marya.
Thank you, Satyam. Welcome, friends, and welcome to the webinar with ActionCOACH. ActionCOACH is world's #1 coaching company. Rather, I would say the company which actually brought coaching as an idea to businesses. We have seen conventional, classic consulting organizations, and coaching was very different. And Brad Sugars, who's the founder of Action, really formed this 27 years back because he saw a huge gap. He saw a gap which was very large because the entire space of, you really see the consultants, the top firms, were only addressing the large companies. And the large companies, by nature of the organizations, the size of the organizations, were able to afford these consulting practices. Consulting also was very process driven. So it has a particular work on a particular department, a particular vertical of the company. So you needed multiple consultants to really help you grow within that. I think only large companies can afford that. The problem really Brad saw was that the small businesses, what I call the small and medium-sized businesses, were neither able to afford these consulting firms, and if they did, they would do only in one of the areas of the business, while they needed help on almost every department of the company. Because I think in a small business, the challenges are much higher. One, the challenge is talent itself. You don't have the right high-quality talent which can address a lot of issues in the company. So you need a lot of help, and it almost becomes the responsibility of entrepreneur from idea generation to really go out and execution that idea and spend all the time in troubleshooting. So the entrepreneurs, when I see them when they're running small businesses, they pretty much are available in the initial phase of they're starting off. They're fine because they're excited, they're building idea, they're taking the idea to the market. And after some time, they get so involved in the business, so that they have no time to really see the next level of growth. And that's where they start hitting fatigue. The businesses start hitting fatigue. They becomes a little bit saturated. They're not able to get to the next orbit. And that's where they need help. And this is what he saw. He saw that every single small business had a great entrepreneur, great business owner, but not able to grow through the next level of corporate growth because of restrictions, because they were too much in the business. And he saw that if I can create a coaching company which can work, the coaches can work with these business owners and help them to, one, move from what I call in the business to on the business and take their business to the next level, that would be a great idea. And that's where the journey of Action really started. And that journey in the last 27 years has taken Action to about 80 countries and 1,400 very, very top class, world-class coaches, which actually day and night work with business owners in terms of taking their businesses ahead. Now, this was a big problem. This problem is the biggest in India. You know, India is the largest penetration for small businesses. We have 30 million businesses out there, and almost every business needs a coach. Almost every business. And every business has, by nature, desire to grow. I would say it has to start having a one coach who can address and help the businesses to go to the next level. While we talk about how coaching of Action really works, what kind of areas we really put impact on, what kind of structure needs to be done. But let's go into what Satyam was referring. Satyam was referring that how you want to really start your own franchise. Now, you know, coaching as a franchise also was an idea which Brad really brought in, because Brad used to, and when he started addressing a lot of businesses himself, and then suddenly his demand became very high. And then he thought that I can do some group sessions. And he started at one point in time in late 90s, he was addressing people, 1,000 people, conferences, and 1,000 people would come to hear him out, and he will go out and do this 1 day, 2 day, 3 day kind of workshops. And these are business owners. This is not really anybody else. He used to get 1,000 business owners in a one big auditorium and train them for 3 days, 4 days. And then he realized that this is not getting the personalization. But he was alone. He was the guy who had all the knowledge which he's built, and he wanted to really help more and more businesses. And it was going beyond his time. Even if he was almost on a flight all the time and going to different cities and covering up the entire thing, he still cannot address that. And that's where he thought that probably this would be an idea that whatever he's learned over the years and what he's got success, if he can pass this success to somebody else, which is also similar kind of a talent, somebody who has that kind of pedigree, experience, and that business can become a business model in itself. And that's where he started franchising. He rather started licensing his practice, Action Coach, as a practice to another. And now that's how the tribe really grew. And now 1,400 people globally are doing what Brad used to do. They are speaking, they go to public forums, a lot of keynote speaking and things like that. Each of our coaches do that. They also do a lot of one-on-one coaching, where they would go and work with business owners and help them in terms of their one-on-one coaching. This can be 2 days a week, it can be 3 days a week. In some cases, it is even more extensive and deeper. And they're paid on a monthly basis. And they are also doing group coaching, where you take a bunch of business owners and try to do that. So depending on how you really plan your time. Most of our coaches would put 50% of the month into one-on-one coaching, and 50% of the month where they're doing a lot of keynote speaking and forums, and now these days webinars and things of that nature. So that's how you need to do that. Now let's go into, if you want to really build your own coaching business or any kind of advisory business, so to say, what it takes to do that, and why taking a franchise with an established brand is so very important. And that is also very important to answer, because a lot of people want to do that. And I can tell you, especially for professionals who spend 10, 15 years in their careers and gone to a certain level where they have a certain market price, they don't like other kind of brick and mortar franchise. And I can tell you with authority that they don't like it for many reasons. One, doesn't fulfill the kind of work they want to do, because most of the time you have worked, if you're a professional, you worked in helping enterprises to go to the next level where you were employed on. So you really like to continue that part. While this time around, you're not only helping others to grow, but you're also building your own business. That's one. Second, most of them don't like to put in large capitals, because they don't want to start something with big capital, because this is your saving. You worked so hard, 15, 20 years, 30 years. So you don't want to really put money. And there are only two types of businesses in the world. One is a return on capital businesses, where you put capital and capital to use, and capital gives you return. And second is return on knowledge businesses. So they want to do more on knowledge, because they would feel that what they bring in more is their 15, 20 years of experience. That would work more for them rather than just putting money. Money anybody can put, but they can put really knowledge. So knowledge businesses are very different. And Action is actually a knowledge business. Rather, I always say that in Action, when you buy a franchise, you get return on three things. One, return on knowledge, return on time, and return on engagement, how you engage your clients. Between these three returns you get. If you put time, you get a return on time, you get return on your knowledge and entirely. Why so is it important to partner with Action? Because Action gives you world's #1 brand. So your go-to-market becomes easy. When you go to a client and say, I'm part of Action and I have 40 coaches in India and we have so much of credentials and we have a global company and we have Brad Sugars who has a huge amount of following, it's much easier for do your go-to-market. People trust you because they know they're talking to a consulting firm. So when I get a call from, say, even a top 4, top 5 consulting firms, when EY calls you, KPMG, you don't check the credentials. Credentials are already established because the brand comes strong. The second, which I'm more fan of, a lot of people start practice, and I'll give you my example. I've been doing 23 years of franchising, and I started franchising in India, pretty much pioneer in franchising, and I was actually in one of the companies, Unilever, and doing a project, trying to do a project, get a project with them. Almost everything finalized, and then one of the directors really went out and said, "Oh, it's okay, but Gaurav, you still run an Indian company. There must be some global company out there which is you might be the pioneer in India, but there must be somebody is maybe a global company which is pioneer in the world. But we are Unilever, we are a multinational. We would like to explore that also." When he said that, I get my message. I said, "Look, I can be #1 in India, but I'm still not #1." So in the same time, I went out and reached out to world's #1 franchise consulting firm, which is FranCOP in US, and signed with them. Because I realized that I can be #1 here, but I have not really seen the world. I don't know where is the entire thing. And today, FranCOP and Franchise India both are our companies, so we can go with authority that we have the more knowledge in the room in franchising than anybody else. So same thing happens with people when they start their own practice. They feel that they have their own knowledge, but this is very limited to them. They don't have a global perspective on this. And that's where Action really comes in. Action gives you a global perspective. You get what works in almost all 80 countries, a big marketplace, work with multiple business owners and multiple businesses across the world. You know what works, what doesn't work, what kind of tools you need to use that. And the methodology which is being used and done over the years, that comes along with it, which is third part of it. Third part is very important because you can start your own practice. Sometimes you can start your own coaching, consulting practice or whatever you want to do that, but you never get the methodology. It takes a lot of life cycles of running multiple coachings to understand how you want to do that. The content itself is so very important. I've seen the greatest of the minds failing in their own consulting. Why they fail? Because they have no methodology. They know how to do it, but they have nothing. There's not tools. And if you have to do, say, a assignment with a client for which runs next 3 years, how do you really done it? You need to have a methodology. Without having that, you cannot run that. And that's where the power of Action really comes in. Action is a strong brand. It's a global network. It has a tools and methodology which works very well. We have a toolbox which I think Satyam would take you through. And finally, it is a network of people who would come along with you, work along with you to really help you succeed. So a lot of mentoring really comes with a strong training, which is a very big initial training, and also then works a lot. So the life cycle of any coaching business really runs on 3 R's. I call the 3 R of coaching. 1 R is how do you build your reach? So we work with you to build your reach, in terms of your own brand. End of the day, you are part of Action, but you build your own brand equity. So each of our coach, if you really go out on their Facebook, LinkedIn, and see that what are they doing? They're building their own brand equity. Each one of them is a strong brand. So how we work with you to create your reach. Second, we work with you to create your early results. Very important. You need to work with your clients and get strong results. And third, we work with you to really create your own referrals. Once your referrals start coming in, people start recommending that I used him for a coaching and my business went from this to this level. My results went up. My top line went up. My bottom line had a big impact. These are some of the impacts which we work on. It's early days. In first 6 to 7 months, we do a very big financial impact on a company. So the confidence of the business owner really becomes strong with our coaches, and they are able to do that. So 3 R's are how do you build your reach, how do you focus on results, and how do you build your referral base. Between these 3 things, you need to really go down. So another area which is Action's really focus area, it's I call the 4 areas which are becoming more and more important these days. One is learning. How do you build organizational learnings, which can be the part of organization as a key team and also the business owner himself? How do we take the learning up that the organization or the businesses are ready for tomorrow? The second is, how do you make organization more resilient? Because in these times, these challenging times, our coaches are very, very busy because they're changing model, they're doing a lot of innovation, they're understanding how to address a situation like this. It's very, very important. Third, how do you build organizations, especially small businesses have a phobia of just limited to one markets. When you start expansion, how do you really build adaptability? Adaptability of different cultures, adaptability of different markets, and so on and so forth. Especially in India, if you are any product or service company, you need to bring in a strong adaptability to take the entire thing. And fourth, which is a focus on meaningful action plan. So, fundamentally, everybody thinks that I want to grow, but there is no real action plan. There is no 3 or 4 or 5 year horizon. And how do you really put that action plan? And how do you really work and set accountability with business owners to continue to map that? So we distance the business owner from his business. He's normally attached on emotionally, and help him to really work on creating strong action plan of growth. So that's why the companies would then move from what I call the good to great and great to extraordinary. And this is a journey which we do for business owners. So now I'd like to bring in Satyam back, and Satyam would take you through the presentation on action. I'll be around and I'll take all the questions. So in the meantime, go on a Q&A box. Tell us about yourself, where you come from, what is your background. Are you already a management consultant, right? Management consultant in MC. If you are a professional, write P. If you are a business owner, write B. And if you are in a career change, which means that you're moving out of your career and you already decided to do something new, and write C. Just go out and write about that. Even share a little bit background about yourself in terms of what is your past background, what have you done. Even you want to share your qualification, we'll be happy to do that, because more we know where you're coming from, where we can really tell you this works for you or no. Because I believe Action is the greatest business I've seen. It's a great business. It's a business for life. You build your sustainable business model because you don't require employees. You don't require anything. It's a top class business, gets you a great network because you work with business owners all the time. So it's a great business, but it's also not for everybody. Some people come and say, can I do it on side? Some people come and say, oh, I have some contacts if I can leverage. Some people say I'm running a business, full-time business, and I want to do a coaching along with it. This all doesn't work. It doesn't work. So please share the profile. We are not in rush, but we are very, very choosy. And when Satyam gives you, we're extremely choosy who we want to work with. We want to really work and handpick. Even if out of this whole webinar, we get one good coach, that's it. We are fine. We don't want to really do that. Last 12 years since Action is in India, we have only got 40 coaches, and they're all top class and they're all doing well. So we don't want to disturb our business model. We really want to really focus on that. Every week we come in, present the opportunity, and out of that, a lot of times we reject it. A lot of people we reject and say, it's not that they were not good profiles, but they may be not suited to Action. They might not be suited to the entire thing. Even to extend that the interview is directly done by our global CEO. Our global CEO would personally do an interview before he can even approve anything. And we don't take $1 before that. We take you through the whole structure, and the global CEO would come and talk to you. And only when he feels that this is right candidate, we go even and talk about money. Before that, there is no discussion. We don't want to even have any. We are the only organization. I've been selling franchising for many years. Every franchise company would sign a LOI, take a deposit, and we don't take anything. It's a clear instruction for Brad Sugar and say, unless and until we approve strongly the candidate, we don't talk. So it's a granting of a license of something which is a strong intellectual property, and we just don't want to share with anybody who doesn't qualify that. So please go out and write on a Q&A box, and I will in the meantime bring Satyam on, and then we'll start taking some questions. And so I see Girish joining, Girish Oberoi. Girish, if you can also write about your background, it will be great. What kind of industry you are from. So it gives an indication if you are in an industry which is closer to what it can shift to a coaching. It's very important for us to really know. Okay, Ghazal Jain is a small business owner from Pune. Now that's very important. If you are a business owner already, how would you become a coach? While you understand small businesses very well, but how do you want to shift your journey to becoming a coach is very important, because coaching is a very involved business and you love it. Actually, if you become part of coaching. It becomes part of your life. You really look forward for every single day. Very few businesses where you are excited to go to work. A lot of businesses in life, you continue to do that, but you're not enjoying it. But I can tell you, because I've been in part of coaching and consulting for many years now, there can be no more satisfying business than this. It's very satisfying because now you're working on helping people and see results with them. And when they give you positive answers, then it's most rewarding. And it's a good money-making business also because you don't have any cost. Otherwise, in other businesses, you have inventories, you have people management, you have infrastructure to look after. Here, you don't have to. You have to just look after yourself. And everybody wants to. You have to just look after yourself. You need to work on your own personality. You need to work on your own skill. You need to work on your own knowledge base. You want to work on your own brand. That's what you need to do that. And that's something which is very refreshing. You're working on yourself. And every time you saw things around you and you were always working for others. And this is a time where you're working for yourself. One of our finest coaches is actually Bombay. He was a banker, a top class guy, a banker, worked in a corporate, top position in corporate. And then suddenly he met me. And that time I was not the owner of ActionCOACH. I was actually in my franchise in the capacity, and I know him very well. And he says, enough is enough. I've done it for many companies and I've taken these companies to IPOs and so on and so forth. Now I want to work for myself. And I saw a big change. He was he was like 20 years younger. He was very high on energy and started doing a lot of things and a lot of on self things, which he started building on his, public speaking skills and things of that nature. You always have that, but you never got a chance to really come out. So that's all comes with action. Action really takes your journey into a very different life cycle where you start working on it. Each of our coaches is a top class speaker. They're public speakers. They go out and speak at different forums. They're invited on different forums. So all that comes as a package of this. So Sunil is looking for a change, which is welcome. Sunil, change is always good. It's always good and gives you mindset where now what is the next journey for you. Disha has. Disha, we talked about right kind of experience. Right kind of experience is there's Umesh, who's L&D right experience. L&D is top class. L&D is very close to what we do. People know learning and development is good. Any kind of management consulting is good. Any kind of strategic work you've done, even if you served in organizations in sales and marketing at a little senior position, that's also good. So anything which reflects that you can help these businesses out there. While the tools, techniques, knowledge base, we give you all. And there is enough and more training we provide and continue to provide. But basic, so I call it the behavioral and your professional skills come along with the brand and the tools. If these two combine together, then it is a fantastic combination. If you have only this and you don't have this, then it's a challenge. And if you have only this and you don't have the balanced one, that's also a challenge. So how do you really create these two together? That's where the opportunity really becomes bigger. So over to you, Satyam. By the time I think everybody's writing.
So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for setting up the premise for the conversation. And I guess you've given a beautiful insights on what the opportunity is and how people can really get into a profession like this. What I'm going to quickly do is, take you through what exactly is the ActionCOACH franchisee opportunity. What is the company all about? Where do we come from? What we've been doing all these years, our presence in India, and ultimately what you get when you get associated with us as a coach, as a franchisee partner. Just to quickly run you through, we are a 27-year-old company. We're headquartered at United States. Las Vegas is a corporate office, and we are the number one in this space. There's no other organization which is as large as us or has done the kind of work that we have done. So we started this journey in 1993 from Brisbane in Australia, and now it's spread across 82 plus countries. Globally, we are a team of about 1,400 plus coaches, and we coach about 30,000 businesses every week. In India and Middle East, we are close to a team of about 35 plus coaches, and you see them on your screen. Just to answer Disha's question, just in a detailed manner, this is one of the common questions that we always get, that what is the prerequisite that you have, I would say the most important prerequisites are if you're passionate about helping others, if you're passionate about working on complex business models, if you enjoy problem solving, if you're open to being a lifelong learner. These are some of the key essentials, that are required for you to get into a profession like this. Rest everything, in terms of knowledge, in terms of how to coach a client, what tool strategies you need to use, how does the body language of a coach needs to be when you're talking to a client. All of that, that's something that we cover. But the commitment, it's a profession that requires a lot of self drive. If all these things are there in you, then rest everything is that we take care of. Our coaches come from diversified backgrounds. We have top C-suite executives of various organizations as coaches with us now. We have a lot of chartered accountants who have not joined our team, and they have added coaching as an additional service to their bouquet. We have a lot of mid-senior level managers also who in their second innings of their career thought of starting up their business, and that's where they came across Action Coach, and they went through the opportunity in detail and ultimately decided to come on board. We also have a lot of business owners who were earlier being coached by our coaches, and then they loved the concept so much that they decided to come on board as a coach with us. So that's a little bit about in terms of the prerequisites or the kind of people that we have on board as coaches with us. This uh, like Brad Sugars is the founder and chairman of Action Coach. He's the person behind the entire company. I don't need to introduce himself. He's there on the social media. Whether you decide to go ahead with the opportunity or not, you should all follow Brad on social media. There's so much to learn from them, and there's so much valuable insights that you keep getting from him. And if you take those and start implementing in your business or whatever you're doing, you'll see the difference. So he's the guy behind everything. He's built this beautiful community of coaches, and he's always there. Apart from being an author, entrepreneur, a multiple business owner, the most important quality of Brad is that he's an innovator. He's always working on new concepts. He's always trying to build in new systems, new practices to enhance coaching as a solution for the business owners. And that's the most important quality that you would be looking in whenever a business owner is signing up a coach. And that's something that comes from Brad directly. And given the times that we are in, where most of the businesses have been impacted, business coaching as a business is actually, it's booming. Our coaches have seen better conversions rate. Our coaches have seen, the kind of help that they have given to the business community. It's just not about surviving this time. It's also about, helping them pivot the business models and take it to the next level. And that's where our coaches have played a very important role. I'm sorry. Now, why Action Coach as a business opportunity? Whenever you're looking at a franchisee business, what makes you take a decision is the kind of support structure that you get from it. At Action Coach, we just not train and certify you to become a coach, but we are also there with you in the journey. So anything that you need right from day one, in terms of your marketing collaterals, your marketing strategies, your sales scripts, your sales strategies, whatever you need, everything is there, scripted and provided to you. Why? Because we have done this for the past 27 years across 82 countries. So we know what works and what does not work. So you don't have to waste your time in testing and measuring. Right from day one, you can access the Action Coach Command Center, which is the dashboard, and you get all these resources available at your hands. And how to convince a client to come on board, the contracts that you will be using to sign up with them, the coaching strategy of how the coaching sessions need to be built up, what you would be doing in those coaching sessions. Everything is scripted and provided to you. All you have to do is, focus on getting clients on board. Our coaching systems are effective and we guarantee results. Whenever our coaches are talking to a prospect, they will not talk in terms of, just doing trainings or coming to your organizations and delivering talks. It's not about that. We bring practical differences to an organization. It's all about, giving tangible results to business owners, and we actually guarantee it. So what you see on your screen is a 17-week guarantee collateral. It's there on, all Action Coach material. And we say that, if a business owner starts following the advice of the coach, they will start seeing the difference, or they will start seeing value in their businesses within the first 17 weeks. So that's what we offer. I'll try and show you also, during my presentation, of what kind of support we provide to our coaches. So when you come on board, we help you set up with everything, right from your office stationery to your setting up your website, an attractive website, to, setting up your MailChimp account, to start your email marketing, to providing you content to build your website and your social media handles. So you need a lot of white papers, you need a lot of case studies. Everything is scripted and provided to you, so you don't have to waste time in putting these things together. Your focus is just on acquiring clients, or start having conversations with clients. So everything is there, that is provided to you. Now, once you're into the system, once you've completed your training, you have set up all your website, or you have started having conversations with your prospects, how does the revenue come in? So at Action Coach, we have designed a product ladder which ensures that you're just not dependent upon one kind of product to bring in revenue into your business. There are multiple streams. The revenues will come in from multiple streams. Why we have done that? Because coaching as a product, there will be business owners who will be receptive towards it, and there will be business owners who will be very hesitant, because of the cost that is involved. So we have created a product that fits in the pocket size of each kind of business owner, a product for each business. It starts, right at the top of the ladder is a product called Action Coach, which is a one-to-one coaching where you sit with the business owners and you're coaching them. The format is that you give them 4 hours of coaching in a month. That is 1 hour every week. Now, if a it's the Action Club is the group coaching format, where you invite business owners into a group from same industry, and you help them. You do a 2-hour sessions for them every 15 days. So still they end up getting 4 hours of coaching in a month, but it's done in a group and it becomes cost effective for them. And again, it's a monthly engagement. Now, if a business owner is not looking at spending money every month, the other products that we have is, our workshops or a 2-day seminar where we help them create a 90-day plan. It can be a specific function-related plan, or it can be an overall business plan. So we have various formats for it, the seminar club, business bridge, growth club, profit club, planning club. There are multiple products, and it depends. It varies, 1-day workshop to a 2-day workshop. And in times like these, when business owners did not want to spend more money on coaching as a service, group coaching formats or the workshops have really worked well. We've seen, our coaches have run workshops where we had over 60 plus business owners participating. So that's the kind of numbers that you can look at. Now, apart from these, we have various lead gen products also, which are these, regular 1-hour webinar seminars that you will do for business owners, just to show them of how you will add value to their business. Apart from that, when business owners attend these seminars or webinars, they still, though they like the product, or though they understand the concept of coaching on how it will bring a value to their business, but they are still very hesitant in terms of when it comes to taking a decision. So for that, we have various products like a business health checkup, a diagnostic tool, and alignment tool, which will basically help a business owner understand their current state of the business, and then basis the gaps analyzed, they can actually take a decision or take a prompt action, in terms of deciding to go for a coaching service, and they can choose from a group coaching or a quarterly workshop or a one-to-one coaching. So we have multiple products. At Action Coach, it's the coaches that decide the pricing of each of these products. We will tell you global references of what our coaches are charging for each kind of these products, but it's ultimately the coaches that they decide. Okay, so that's in terms of product ladder. Now, just to show you, when we give you these multiple products, now all these products are already scripted and are available in the dashboard. So you don't have to, spend time in terms of designing the execution strategy of these products. Everything right from the presentations that you need to be using, the activities that you will be giving to business owners, the marketing collaterals for it, for each and every product, everything is ready. Even, in terms of if you're doing cold calling to invite business owners into the room for each of these products, what the cold calling script should be there, how you would be setting up your seminar room or your webinar room, how everything is there. You just don't have to spend any time doing research on these stuff. Once you decide to come on board, you undergo a complete training program, which is close to about 9 weeks of training, so that you are certified by us to become a coach. It starts with a 4-week pre-training. We call it the foundation training. It's done online. It's self-paced learning where you get access to the Action Coach dashboard, and you go through a lot of videos. We give you a lot of learning material in terms of books are provided to you, and a lot of assignments are given to you. The idea behind the pre-training is just to make you familiar with the Action Coach environment and the terminology. Once you have completed the first 4 weeks of training, then you become eligible to attend a 10-day in-house training. Now, earlier, our coaches used to go to our global office at Las Vegas and do the trainings there. But given the times that we are in, we have migrated the 10-day training program to virtual. So at this point of time, the 10-day training is happening virtually, and our team of master coaches from the global office connect with you and basically take you through the entire training. Once you have completed the 10-day in-house training, you get certified, and you can start your own practice. But simultaneously, there will be another 4 weeks of online training that would run. That will this is just done just to ensure that you become thorough with our systems and processes. Now, after you've completed the 9-week training, also, it's not that the training is stopped. It is a continuous process. It will continue throughout the year. So every month there are various webinars that are done by international coaches. You become a part from that, a part of that. Every Monday 8:30 a.m. we do a call with all our coaches. So the entire community of coaches from India and Middle East get on a call, and they basically talk about what works in the market, what does not work, in case anyone needs help in terms of help with their clients, or what needs to be done with their clients during their coaching sessions. The coaches guide and advise the others. We also keep doing a lot of global and regional events from time to time. You become a part of that, and you're learning from the best in the community. So that's the training program that we have. Now, coming to the business models, we have 2 business models. One is an individual model where you come on board as a coach. We train you, we certify you, and then you start reaching out to business owners and you coach them. So everything that you do in your individual capacity. Okay, so that's the single coach model. We call it the action practice. You don't need to invest into any infrastructure. Even if you want to work out of your home, you can easily do that. And all you need is just a virtual office. That's about it. The investments are there on your screen, but to understand it in a detailed manner, my colleague Mansi is floating a link in the chat box. You can fill up that and schedule a conversation with us so that we can give you more insights in terms of how the model works. The second model is the firm model. So unlike the first model where you're working all by yourself, here you can get new coaches on board. You can build a team of coaches under you. You get region exclusivity, and you can run it like a full-fledged business. So if you're already into a business and you're looking at diversifying it, adding a firm model in terms of business coaching service to your existing business can really help you diversify, and you can make profits out of it. The investments are there on your screen. The license are valid for the next 15 years. Schedule a conversation with us by filling in the link in the chat box, and let's discuss these things in detail. Now, what we've done today is we've just given you an overview of what the opportunity is, how it works. But for you to be able to decide whether this makes sense or not, you have to go through a series of steps to get more clarity about it. The first step is to attend a toolbox tour. It's done by my US team. It happens every Monday, 9:30 p.m. It is basically, during the presentation, when I said that we provide you everything, the tools, resources, the technology support, everything that you need to run your coaching business. Now, what exactly is all of that? You get to see in this toolbox tool. And it's an interactive session. You can put across your thoughts, you can put across your questions, and they will be addressed. If after attending the toolbox tool, you think that this makes sense and I would like to explore the opportunity further, then we introduce you to some of our coaches. And these are one-to-one conversations. Nobody from my team will be involved in these conversations. We introduce you to the coaches, you connect with them and get an understanding from them of why they chose Action Coach as a business opportunity, how their experience has been, how difficult is the market, any questions that you have in mind, you can get a feedback from the coaches who are already working with us. After speaking to the coaches, if you get some more confidence and you would like to explore the opportunity further, then you speak to our global CEO. His name is Vic Cifitelli. He's based out of Australia, and he's been with Action Coach for over 20 years. He's a business coach plus the business head. So when you speak to him, you get perspectives from both the side of what it takes to be a good business coach and why Action Coach as a business opportunity can suit you. So again, a conversation with him will really help you get more details. And trust me, if you go through these 3 steps, by the end of it, you will be in a position to decide whether you want to go forward or not. And if you decide, even if you decide that you don't want to take it forward, we'll respect that. But in case you decide to come on board, then our process of due diligence starts. Okay, because as Gaurav sir mentioned right at the start, it's very important for us to evaluate the person that we are getting into the team, and we are very particular about it. It starts with a behavioral assessment where we try and understand your personality. We do a thorough background check, and then you also have a call with our chairman, Mr. Marya, just to reinsure we are getting the right person on board. Once everything is sorted and we get a go ahead from everyone, then we sign up the franchisee agreement and we bring you on board and we start with your training. Now the next training is scheduled from 4th of November. But for anyone to be eligible to attend that, you have to complete the pre-training as well. So in case you're looking at exploring the opportunity, go through these 3 steps by filling in the link in the chat box and scheduling a conversation with us where we can have more detailed discussion about it. So this was a bit about how the opportunity works. In case Monday 9:30 p.m. the toolbox tour is something that that time slot doesn't suit you, reach out to us. I can schedule, I can do a toolbox tour with you all where I can show you how exactly the Action Coach environment works, what is the kind of support that you can expect from us once you come on board. So this was a small presentation from our end. The contact details are there on your screen. I will also type it in the chat box, but I'm now more than happy to take any questions, anything that comes to your mind. Please type in the Q&A panel and we can answer your questions as well. So at Action Coach, we firmly believe that you all have taken out time, and by attending the webinar today, you spent about good 40-45 minutes in terms of listening to us, and we really appreciate that. We really thank you for that. But what is more important is taking action. So just take out some time. It will not take, completing these 3 steps will not take more than about a couple of days for you. One day to attend a toolbox tour, the second day you can speak to some of our coaches, get feedback, and the third day you can speak to our global CEO. So that's just take out 3 days to understand the opportunity in a better way, and then let's get into the process of evaluating your profile, and then let's see if we can bring you on board or not. So with this, I invite Gaurav sir back, and in case you all have any questions, please type them in the Q&A panel, and let's see. So yeah, I see a question which says, when is the training? The next training is scheduled from 4th of November, and it's going to be a virtual training. It happens over Zoom, and anyone who joins the team, they get all the details. We do a what to expect session also before the training, where you can be well prepared of how the training will roll out. So I guess we're good to go. It's close to about time as well. We promised that it will be about a 45-minute session. We exactly on time. I see a question here. The total tenure of the training is 10 weeks, close to about 10 weeks, 4 weeks of pre-training, then 10 days of in-house training, and another 4 weeks of pre-training. Actually, the pre-training duration is close to about 12 weeks, but the main duration is close to about 4 weeks. Yeah. So Tanmay, in terms of clients, we understand, this is a new space that you would be getting into. So we are with you in the journey. As I said, the strong support mechanism, we are there with you in the business as well. So the first 6 months, the go-to-market strategy is something that we completely take care of. So when you join on board, once you come on board, you complete your training, then we decide the number of events that you have to do every month. We help you get into strategic partnerships with trade organizations or industry bodies in your area, so that you get access to the business community. We do a lot of lead gen campaigns for our coaches from time to time. So the first 6 months, you get help from us in terms of how to bring new clients on board and create that pipeline. But after that, it's something that you will also have to drive. We are there to support you, but it's ultimately your business. You also need to put in your efforts to hunt clients and to get them on board. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. So good. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And I hope you found this session useful. And if you have any specific questions, if you have any queries, just feel free to reach out to us, and we can then take it up from there. Thank you so much once again, and I wish you all Godspeed. Thank you.